The new Mavic 3 is finally here. The drone we've all been waiting for to succeed the Mavic 2 Pro, which has reigned for 3 years since the time it was released. And it's come out with a whole new set of features, but there's a whole new set of features that aren't out yet till January 2022, so it's not going to be a complete review, but a review of what is there so far. I'm going to start off with the body. It's pretty similar to the same Mavic 2 Pro size, and it comes with this new Bane's mask, as everyone's calling it. So this top clip is magnetic. Just pull it out, and there it is. The Mavic 3 comes with two cameras. The main camera, which is a 4x3 inch camera with a variable aperture that can shoot video of up to 5.1K, 50 frames per second, and 4K up to 120 frames per second, and also comes with the Cine 4K up to 120 frames per second as well, and 1080p up to 200 frames per second. There's also a telephoto lens, or the explore mode as DJI likes to call it, that can get you up to 28 times digital zoom, but for best results 7 times zoom is perfect. Let me go ahead and open this up. This is a massive drone. You see the arms are a little more out. The propellers are massive as well, and it's got sensors, big sensors right at the front, on the top here, behind, and underneath. I actually like this dark gray color. So here's where the battery goes in the back, so it's not part of the drone anymore. What I mean is you don't have to clip it on the top like we did with the Mavic 2 or the Air 2, Air 2S. It goes in the back, and then you just clip it on, and then you get it back out again the same way. Now this battery is pretty big and gives you about 46 minutes of flight time in perfect situations, but we're not usually in perfect situations, and from my experience it's been about 35 minutes of flight time, but it always depends on the situation you're flying, if it's too cold, how much wind, etc, etc. It's got the SD card slot right here at the back. The Mavic 3 comes in two different versions. One that can record in MP4 and MOV in H.264 and H.265, while the Cine version can record in ProRes and has an internal 1 terabyte SSD. Apple ProRes makes it so much more easier to edit the footage, but it also takes up a lot of memory, and it makes it so much easier to edit on Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro. And if that's something you really need, then the Cine version is something you want to go for. Here are the prices. The standalone goes for $2,100. No, sorry, it was $2,199 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, $2,199. And the Fly More combo goes for $3,000, and the Cine version that comes with the smart controller and the extra batteries like the Fly More combo goes for $5,000. Wow, that's almost on par with the Inspire. That's crazy. Let me mention also that the controller is the same that you get with the Air 2S, the Air 2, and the Mini 2, but it comes with O3 Plus that gives you a much better range of up to 15 kilometers. So as you can see, these sensors are on, but I put them on brake mode, not in autopilot mode where it can just like go up, down, or sideways. I just put it on brake because that's something that I prefer. So now I put the drone in CineSmooth mode, and I'm just gonna bring it toward me. Now the colors look really nice straight out of the drone, and it's good that you can control the aperture, and it really helps if you've used the wrong ND filters or not using any ND filters at all, and it's pretty good. So I'm recording this in normal color profile in 5.1K, 30 frames per second. Now here's something when it's recording in D-Log, it records in ISO 400 and ISO 800. I wish they gave more options with it, but I think they might do it in a future update. But so far, good. And this is more flat compared to the Air 2S D-Log for sure. And of course, it's also 10-bit color. So let's try the telephoto lens. I've got it about 263 feet away from me. So let's see how this does. So when you tap on the binocular icon there, you're in explore mode and it's using the main camera and digital zoom. So it's just cropping in. There's 2 times, there's 4 times. Now here is when things change. It switches from the main camera to the telephoto camera when you move into 7 times. And this is when it's best. This is when you're getting the best detail. So as you can see, there's no manual features, but I'm sure they will definitely come out with some manual features at some point, hopefully in the January 2022 firmware update. But you cannot change the frames per second. You can only go 30 frames per second. But there's one thing you can do. You can control the exposure. So you can control the exposure, but you can't lock the exposure. So for now, it's what it is. Now for now, I think this is something that's just a toy, not really a tool yet until they give manual features. So where you can control, your shutter speed, etc. And if you can get this in D-Log, then this would be more useful, way more useful. Now, I'm just gonna try focusing on me and just record. Now the controls are a little more sensitive because you're in explore mode. Since I'm in photo mode, let me try and snap some photos and see how good this looks. Now I'm gonna try and take some photos with the telephoto lens, and I'm gonna zoom into 7 times and get some shots here. That's actually not bad at all. Turned out pretty good. Now I'm gonna try the D-Log and I'm gonna shift it to 50 frames per second and try and get some slow-mo footage. So something I forgot to mention is that you can view all this at 1080p, 60 frames per second on your phone or your tablet, whatever you're using to control the drone with. And that's pretty incredible. I mean, the picture quality coming back, the image quality is impressive. So my final conclusion on the Mavic 3, well, I can't really give a final conclusion because, or a complete review because a lot of the features aren't there yet, such as Active Track 5.0, Master Shots, Quick Shots, Wi-Fi transfer, Wi-Fi 6. So a lot of these features are missing, and well, I need to test those out in order to give a complete review, or anyone else for that matter. But so far, this drone has really impressed. I still have to try it at night, so I'll probably do that in another video, but I'm sure it's gonna turn out great from the other videos I've watched, from Drone X Factor and Drone Supremacy, and it looks really good, obviously, because it's a much bigger sensor. But sorry, I'm just gonna try and get in the frame back here. It's really cold out here. Like, my feet are cold. Maybe it's because my boots are a little loose. Anyway, I'm gonna head back soon. It's getting dark. Well, daylight saving does that. Well, so far I really like what this drone has to offer. 5.1K up to 50 frames per second. That is incredible. And 4K up to 120 frames per second. And I like that they've included the Cine 4K format as well to shoot in. And yeah, I don't really have a lot of complaints about this drone. It flies really good, and the battery well, I charged this battery to 100% and I've been using it for some time now, and I still have 42% remaining, about a little less than 17 minutes of battery. And it's also pretty chilly out here. It's like, I think 1 degree or something, but it feels like 0 or something like that. So yeah, it is pretty chilly out here, and it's done really well so far. And I've also tested it out by flying it in, you know, in some heavy winds, and I flew it when it was snowing, and there was absolutely no issues with it at all. Not that I'm recommending or suggesting that you guys do the same. It's just me. I like to test the drone out. So I tested it out when it was snowing a few days ago, and it really impressed. I used the 5.1K 50 frames per second to get some slow footage. Yeah, and it did really well. It got some really cool pictures as well. But anyway, I'm gonna head back now and edit all of this. I'll also be making a lot of videos comparing to the Air 2S, and more night footage and obstacle avoidance and all of that. So well, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already for more weekly videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.